So you have been implicated in this very dramatic report. Are these allegations so true?
Allegations are completely unfounded, misrepresented, and the tragedy is that a lot of the commentators have difficulty reading English.
So in what way, Mr. Wiese, have you been misrepresented?
Well, very simply, if you read the article, you will see that there are two issues where there's a dispute with SARS. The first one is for an amount of 3.7 billion rand, which has absolutely nothing to do with Titan, as you very clearly, the article makes very clear. The second one is for an amount of 217 million rand, where there's a dispute between 3 or 4 individuals and SARS, which is the subject of a court matter, which will be adjudicated shortly.
So in which way, then, do you think, Mr. Wiese, you've been pulled into this? Why have you been named?
No, simply because after the restructuring was done by ENS and other tax advisors for the Tallow group, there was a number of shelf companies that came out of that restructuring. That restructuring, SARS now alleges, cost or the taxpayer avoided paying tax in what is now an amount of 3.7 billion rand. That happened long before I bought this small subsidiary company out of that structure. And in that structure, for the period that we owned it, we have now run into a dispute with SARS, which is being adjudicated. I think the court hearing is on the August 22nd this year. It's been dragging on for years.
Keep going, Mr. Wiese, I apologize.
No, but what happened, I mean, some commentators, and I think even you said it now in your lead-in comments, that I'm facing a 3.7 billion rand tax claim, which is simply unfounded if you read the article.
So how much money then, if I may ask, do you owe SARS? Is that an issue?
I don't owe SARS anything as far as I'm concerned. We are in a legal dispute which will be adjudicated in the correct forum. The quantum involved is 217 million rand. And these are public documents.
So the contention, Mr. Wiese, is either ENS, as the report says, sold you a lemon, or SARS is out to get you. Which one is it?
No, both are wrong. Because ENS did not sell me a lemon when they sold that subsidiary company, and it's clear in the article, quoting Mr. Dax of ENS, Dr. Wiese placed reliance on the representations and warranties obtained from the eNCA trust at the time, that there were no tax liabilities. It is crystal clear. So they gave a warranty when it appeared that the warranty may be under threat. I sold the company back to them.
Are you pursuing any recourse then either against ENS, Mr. Wiese, or SARS for that matter?
I'm not. No, and why? Why should I have a recourse against SARS? SARS has not demanded the 3.7 from me or any of my companies.
So there would be an amicable relationship as you try to resolve this problem then with the South African Revenue Service, which you say is proceeding, albeit slowly, through the courts.
Absolutely. I mean, we've tried our best to settle it amicably, but we disagree on a fundamental point of law, which I'm not going to discuss in the media. It is in the correct forum in the court, and the court will decide who's right. I obviously have very good legal advice, which is that we're right.
Could you explain to us then, just again for clarity's sake, your relationship with Tallow, what it actually and what it actually does?
I had no relationship with Tallow whatsoever. Never had. Has no relationship. The Tallow restructuring happened a year or two before I acquired from ENS, a company that was one of the companies involved in the whole Tallow restructure. I had absolutely nothing to do with it, but the article makes it clear.
And that relationship with Tallow has now come to an end?
I have no relationship with Tallow whatsoever.
Or the involvement with Tallow then?
Pardon?
Or the involvement with Tallow, the association with Tallow, that no longer exists?
I had no involvement and no association with Tallow whatsoever. I dealt with ENS, or with the trust called ENAP, which was part of ENS.
I tell you why I'm pursuing this particular line of questioning, Mr. Wiese, is that the article, or one of the articles also goes on to say, and the allegation is made, is that you moved assets from Tallow the moment the South African Revenue Service came investigating. And the line that I'm drawing, and you're suggesting that it's an erroneous line, is that it's because of that you had this relationship with Tallow. You would reject that?
Now, Jeremy, very simply, with respect, the article does not say that I removed Tallow assets. It does not say it. What it does say, in the subsidiary company that I bought from ENAC, not from Tallow, I put in assets in terms of my own corporate planning, and when it then appeared that there was a tax threat years later, I removed those assets out of that company. My assets that went into the company came out of the company. That is what the article says in plain English.
Are you concerned then, Mr. Wiese, with the article as far as Amabhungane is concerned? Are you pursuing any recourse as far as it goes?
No, I've spoken to the journalist, because 702 sent a message into the world, apparently, that Visa now faces that SARS is trying to get back 3.7 billion rand from Visa. I asked the journalist, did you say that? He wrote me an email to confirm that he did not say it. And therefore, I will be having an interview with the people at 702 and said, but tell me, you clearly say it. On what basis do you say it? Because there is no action between myself and the receiver relating to 3.7. The action, which is before the courts, relates to 217 million rand. And you know, where I come from, there is a difference between 217 million rand and 3.7 billion rand.
Mr. Wiese, were you given bad advice by ENS?
No, I wasn't given bad advice, because I didn't take advice from ENS. I bought a company from them, and they gave me warranties, which is normal.
There's also the other issue, Mr. Wiese, as far as Steinhoff is concerned. Maybe while I've got you on the phone, you can just fill me in on exactly where you stand in terms of that, and maybe also reflect, if you can, on what this has done to your personal reputation in the business field.
Well, I'm hoping for the people that matter, people know, who understand everything, that hopefully my reputation is intact. For those who read all the misstatements and who live in cloud cuckoo land, who suggests that I or the other board members knew of the alleged shenanigans, yet went ahead and invested billions in the company, to those people, I mean, you know, I don't know how well they're equipped to make any sort of judgment at all.
Mr. Wiese, where's Marcus Jooste right now?
I have no idea.
Have you been in contact with him?
Not at all. The last time I saw him or spoke to him was on December 6th last year.
And do you remain very disappointed at the way in which events turned out in that respect?
Jeremy, I will leave that to you to decide.
All right.
That, you know, somebody that you trust, you invest half your life's, well, more, 60% of your life's work into a company, and then you go through what I've been going through. I mean, you decide whether I should be disappointed.
Explain to us what you've been going through, Mr. Wiese.
No, well, I've been obviously dealing with these innuendos and people's suspicions. Here, you know, people who are completely uninformed or are not capable of logic analysis. It has been difficult. It has been difficult. But on the other hand, the people that know me and the people that I deal with, thank God, you know exactly what my situation is. So, you know, that's in short it. But I'm not running a popularity contest, Jeremy.
No, I understand that, Mr. Wiese. The relationship that you have right now with the current chairperson of Steinhoff, how would you describe that?
Yeah, cordial, but obviously, you know, we are now litigants. I've sued the company, and the current board represents the company. They have, as you know, everybody would expect, have said that they will defend my action. We are sitting here with bated breath to see on what grounds they're going to defend it.
Do you regret your relationship, Mr. Wiese, and also your grooming, your mentorship of Marcus Jooste at the time? Was this a big mistake in your career?
Jeremy, I mean, this thing, I mean, how did I mentor Jooste? Jooste listed Steinhoff in 1998. I became a shareholder of Steinhoff in 2011, became a board member in 2013, became chairman of Steinhoff in 2016. Now, when did I mentor him?
No, the reason why I asked that question is that you are a senior business figure in South Africa. You're considerably older than he is, and there would have been surely, Mr. Wiese, a relationship, a symbiotic relationship of advice and of mentorship.
Of course, in terms of, you know, the strategy for the Steinhoff Group going forward, purchasing Pepkor from me and the co-shareholders, the planned acquisition of Shoprite through Star, clearly. But how does that mean I have mentored a man who built a group over 20 years before, well, not quite 20 years, 13, 14, 15 years before I appeared on the scene?
Do you still feel ambushed by this whole episode?
Of course I do. Ambushed, misled, whatever you want to call it. You know, I've made this point several times that, you know, only people who have no idea of how corporate life works can imagine that you can build a group that operates in 33 countries, employs 300,000 people, because that's where we were going to end up with Shoprite in the parcel, that you can do that without trusting people. I mean, in what world do people live?
What's the lesson you've learned from this entire affair?
Well, you know, I've obviously racked my brains. I think the one lesson which I do concede is I went into Steinhoff relying, I knew my own business very intimately. I could sense when anything went wrong in them, be it Pepkor or Shoprite or any of the others. The Steinhoff businesses I did not know, but I relied, on it, the way the market assessed it, the way they reported, the way they were audited, that what I saw was what I was getting.
Christo Wiese, we are going to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us on the line to us from Cape Town. Now,